Yeah, Sylvie, you're the dream that sparks my days, shining like the sun, lighting up my ways. With every glance you catch me by surprise. You're the apple of my eyes, my sweet alibis. In this game of life, you're my favorite play. No one can stop me, I'm loving you all day.
The first stranger arrived at dusk. Mara saw him from the kitchen window of her old farmhouse, a lone figure walking the long dirt road that cut through the fields like a scar. The sky over the valley burned orange behind him, and for a moment he looked like a shadow peeled away from the sunset. No one walked that road. Not since the bridge collapsed near the old mill. Not since the disappearances. He raised a hand when he saw her watching. A polite gesture, almost shy. Mara hesitated only a moment before stepping onto the porch.
"Evening," he called, his voice warm, tired. "Sorry to bother you. Car broke down about 5 miles back. I was hoping to use a phone."
She studied him, mid-30s, clean-shaven, clothes dusty but not ragged. He didn't look dangerous, he looked ordinary. Ordinary was the most dangerous thing of all. Still, the valley had rules. The same rules Mara's mother had followed, and her grandmother before her. Welcome the stranger. Feed the stranger. Shelter the stranger. Never turn anyone away.
"Come in," she said.
Inside, the house smelled of rosemary and wood smoke. The stranger introduced himself as Daniel. He spoke easily, smiled often, and complimented the stew as though it were served in a 5-star restaurant.
"You live out here alone?" "For now." That answer seemed to satisfy him.
She set a place for him at the long oak table. The chair creaked as he sat. The house seemed to creak with it, as if settling around him. As they ate, Daniel spoke of cities, of glass towers and traffic and crowds so thick you could disappear in them. He described neon lights and subway tunnels, rooftop bars and endless noise. Mara listened, fascinated. No one from the valley had left in decades.
"Why'd you come this way?" she asked. "Shortcut," he said. "GPS said it'd save time."
The house gave a small, sharp crack from somewhere deep in the walls. "Old place," Mara said smoothly. "It makes noises." He smiled again, but his eyes flicked toward the hallway, toward the locked door at the end. The second stranger arrived just before midnight, a woman this time, breathless, panicked. She banged on the door so hard the hinges rattled.
"Please," she screamed, "please let me in."
Mara was already standing in the hallway when Daniel emerged from the guest room.
"You know her?" he whispered.
Mara didn't answer. She opened the door. The woman stumbled inside, wild-eyed. Her gaze landed on Daniel and froze. "That's him," she whispered.
Daniel's expression changed in an instant. The warmth drained away like water down a sink.
"She's confused," he said calmly. "I've never seen her before."
"He picked me up on the highway," the woman gasped. "Said he'd help, then he—"
Daniel moved fast. Too fast. He lunged for her, hand clamping over her mouth. Mara stepped back. She did not scream. She did not interfere. She simply watched. The house shuddered, the lights flickered, and the locked door at the end of the hallway swung slowly open. The valley had rules. Welcome the stranger. Feed the stranger. Shelter the stranger. And when their true nature reveals itself, offer them to the house. Daniel never saw what came out of the darkness. He only felt the floor vanish beneath him. Felt hands, not Mara's, not human, close around his ankles and drag. The woman's scream joined his for a single, terrible note before both were cut short. The hallway fell silent. The door swung shut. The house settled. Mara stood alone again. She walked calmly to the kitchen, took a clean bowl from the cupboard, and ladled fresh stew into it. She placed it on the table. Then she stepped out onto the porch and rang the iron bell that hung from the beam above. Its sound carried far across the valley, clear, inviting. Somewhere in the distance, a car engine sputtered and died. Mara smiled. The valley had rules, and she was a very good host.